Welcome back to the Alienware Cup at BTS. Every time I want to say like your actual BTS Beyond the Summit, I almost turn it into Beat the Studio, which is the show we do. Bruno's done it a few times as well, yeah. But welcome back. It's DK versus IG. We're going into game 2 in just a moment. I believe they're both loading. IG are one game up in the series. DK need to win 2. DPM gave us all the info. Whoever loses this will finish with $5,000. Fourth place, yes. $5,000, and means the winner will guarantee themselves at least a top 3 finish, and the minimum they can go home with as well is $7,000. Yep. So pretty good prize money here from the sponsors of Alienware and MasterCard. MasterCard won't even feel the dent on paying out that, but yeah, still. So how do you think this game's going to go? What do you think they need to change? What's going to happen? Tell me the future.
It all begins with the draft. As usual, right?
I like that. It does all begin with
it all begins with the draft.
That's such a safe statement.
And ends with a GG. In between, anything can happen, right? But if you want to go DK's
Mystic Bruno.
This is why DPM flew Bruno across the world. It all begins
Bruno.
with the draft. It ends with a GG.
And in the middle, anything can happen. That should be like the new Dota 2 tutorial. It's like, you know how some people have made those series, like how to watch StarCraft?
Right, yeah.
This is how to watch Dota 2. Like, you should do like 5-second tutorials for stuff. Like, that would be, I would watch a YouTube series of 5-second tutorials. I'd even watch the 15-second ad that goes on.
To watch the 5-second.
Like, imagine doing a 5-second tutorial on gyrocopter. Or any hero. Have you got anything for us? I'm putting you on the spot now. So
I'm really on the spot right now, but let's just pick a random here. You say gyrocopter?
No, wait, I'll go Rubik.
Rubik. Okay, so lift, steal, kill.
Boom.
There you
Rubik.
go. It's pretty easy.
Tyrion Flax is out of a job. His
Damn.
YouTube series will never be the same again. I like this. Anyway, sorry, I completely interrupted you, LD, just from laughing with Bruno, not at Bruno. LD, what did you say that needs to change?
Oh, you were asking me. Jesus. I think the draft was actually fine, but they have to, if they want to run a hero like Storm mid, they got to protect him. I don't think they'll turn to it. DK is one of these teams where it's very rare for them to do something like that. So I think probably what we're going to see from DK is much more standard draft, get super, something like a Panda, a Beastmaster. It seems like we're actually struggling to load into the game here.
Yeah.
Some sort of strong tempo controller is generally what they run for him. I think that's what they'll turn to. We've seen a bit of Slark lately as well, so maybe Slark.
All right, yeah, we'll see what happens. And yeah, you did mention it. It's DKIG. I think they're having a problem with one player loading in. So
we remade the lobby.
Yeah.
So
and Lumi, important question about the game for you. How's the straw poll going?
Straw poll, 50% at NM, so I might have to do some Asian white wrapping.
I thought Wild West was going to win. It's only because Bruno suggested Eminem. He's wearing a shiny shirt, so it confuses.
His shirt is a lot brighter than yours.
Yeah, it confuses the audience.
No, you know,
whatever he says, they believe because they're just
is,
dazzled.
You want to come at me? You throw your spells, but I have a BKB.
Yeah, non-stop BKB.
I thought it was Radiance.
Well, people say Radiance, which is fine, but in that case, you would be dying.
You're always glowing, though.
I know.
Bruno's cheating. He's got a BKB with unlimited duration.
It's just my smile.
Yeah. Nothing can dent that.
No.
Do you want to test that?
Let's go.
We'll have to do this off camera. I don't want to I don't want any documentation of the physical abuse.
Come on.
I was gonna test this BKB.
I pulled out the chess set today to compete with Bruno, and then he won at me, and then did a shirt. Bad.
Can't beat the man.
So we in the new lobby. Okay, we're just waiting for 2 members of DK. And we can bring out the brackets for you guys at home as well if you're not familiar with what's going to be happening throughout the day, if you haven't tuned into Alienware Cup until now, because you're fashionably late by about 12 days. This is the lower bracket semi-finals. So we're going to get a 4th place finish here, IG versus DK. And afterwards, the game that everybody wants to watch. Maybe that's saying too much. You know, when I say everybody wants to watch, but everybody should watch. There you go. Everybody should watch the next game, and it's going to be in the winner bracket finals, and it's going to be LGD versus Na'Vi. Also a best of 3. I'm surprised Na'Vi got here after the group stages, but it's always quite familiar. They do bad in group, do amazing in tournaments. They remind me of, like, I've always said it to people, they remind me of Fnatic, Counter-Strike 1.6 team.
They have this penchant for the dramatic.
Yeah, and they play so well when it actually matters. So
yeah.
Looking forward to the game, that one, LD?
Yeah, Navi versus LGD. Obviously, we're all looking forward to that. Navi's looked the strongest in this tournament. When they've been winning, I think they've been the most impressive team. We haven't seen them lose a big series since they really got into the playoffs. Haven't been played as many times, but Tongfu struggled in the Alienware Cup. They got knocked out. DK got knocked out of the Dota 2 Super League. IG hasn't looked that great. I think they've looked second best after Navi.
Yeah, probably.
LGD
I know, LGD China, they have been very, very organized, and they're very systematic.
They looked really good in their last series, but against Orange, they struggled to end some of those games.
Yeah.
In their, I think it was their second or first match of
They
the
still
playoffs.
beat out Orange in multiple series, so
yeah, and
they look
even-
solid.
The thing is that you can't really blame a team they lose the laning stage and they win anyways. Even if you can say, oh well, maybe they're weak because they lose the laning stage. The ability to actually turn a game around is much more like worthy than just say, well, I win the lane, I beat you at every stage of the game. Because if you win the lanes, everyone can win a game.
That's why we need a heptagon.
A heptagon.
That is like the ugliest polygon
Yeah,
name.
well, why not an octagon? Octagon is like nice, it only O's.
Yeah.
Octagon.
I don't know. I'm good with a heptagon.
How's a ninagon?
It's a nonagon,
Nanagon?
I believe so. And decagon is 10.
Yeah.
I don't know what 11 is though. I don't think anyone knows what 11 is.
11agon.
Do you guys? They don't know.
I like the fact that there was some interaction there with the 2-minute stream delay.
Yeah.
LD, we're going to check if they know.
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
11
That's a
is.
test.
It's 2
See, they all
minutes.
have Google though, so
Yeah.
it's cheating.
Yeah. All right, then. It looks like we're ready to go into the game here. So this is going to be Game 2 of Invictus Gaming versus DK in the Alienware Cup. DK need to win this to stay in the tournament. And, of course, it's going to be LD and Bruno to bring the action as we just get into the draft.
Bam.
Draft underway, Bruno. We're going to see some standard bans for both teams. IG banning out the Visage, even though they had all the answers for him in Game 1. Darkseer as well. Batrider, Alec banned out by DK. And this leaves Lifestealer in the pool. This leaves quite a few other strong heroes. Gyrocopter, Rubik, Shadow Demon, Chen. They're all available.
We'll see what happens once. Yeah, there he comes. Lifestealer.
They really thought about that, IG. They're like, well, he's
if you give it to
okay.
us. And it's really funny because Invictus Gaming is one of those teams that do not play the one position Lifestealer. They much more fancy the YYF off-lane Lifestealer. And he gets a lot. I think he's the player that can get the most out of off-lane Lifestealer in many, many scenarios. Because it seems like, well, it's a hero that only has a rage, doesn't really have escape mechanism, so he can't go too aggressive. You just force the rage and you kill him. But it's not really like that, because he can always find a way to just run away.
Yeah, Lifestealer fits IG so well because they like to run self-sufficient solos who can scale decently with farm but also get involved early. And Lifestealer, a perfect hero that fits the bill. Templar Assassin, a decent example of that as well. Heroes that can do well in a 1v1, heroes that can win certain matchups, and heroes that will scale with farm. So I like Lifestealer a lot specifically for their style, and it frees them up to run a Shadow Demon Chen, it frees them up to run a dual roam, it frees them up if they want to run a strong defensive try and angle for late game. Lifestealer can offlane solo. Just a versatile opening, and that's what IG want.
Yep, and now DK will have to take a lot of time to think of these two picks, and these two picks are the most important of all the draft. Because here, as I always say, you set the tempo, you said what you want to go for. Invictus Gaming, last game, they went for Shadow Demon Chen. They were saying, okay, we're going to just put 3 safe lanes, 3 solo lanes. We're going to do some rotations. We're going to punish the enemy if their solo lanes are not very survivable, which is what they did.
They knew it apparently. It's a Dudecagon.
The Decagon.
That's a horrible name.
Yeah, a Dagon.
Or it's a Dendigon. A Dendimon.
Dendimon, yeah.
But yeah, sorry, you were saying.
Wow, yeah. No, I was talking about how these two picks are very important. I always see a Gyrocopter and Naga Siren. And DK, one of the teams that have played the Naga Siren before.
Yeah, Naga can be that tri-lane hero. When we've seen her picked most of the time, it's been with a Visage. That's what Tongfu's been doing a lot of. Just gives you good lockdown, lots of burst damage with Riptide, with Soul Assumption. Naga can go solo mid. She can just be a utility hero. She can be even a support. Tongfu's shown they're not afraid to do that. So options are still wide open for DK as far as the rest of their draft. Great hero versus Lifestealer. I think that's the main thing to point out here.
Yeah, I mean, if you rage, you can Song of the Siren to just focus the Lifestealer and disable the rest of his team. If he rages, you can ensnare him and he gets just can't run away. Of course, he can always TP after the ensnare. But if he just rage and TPs, which is something that Lifestealers do a lot, you just ensnare, cancel the TP, and he just stays there.
Yeah, it's all about the mind games and the animation canceling there.
Exactly. So, Gyrocopter and Naga Siren, I really like those two. Even in in a tri-lane together with the Nagasarian support, because if the enemy is somehow a little bit out of the creep wave, you just ensnare and rocket barrage, and then Riptide, and it's a lot of damage as well. You pair that up with another support. I mean, this doesn't really apply, but I saw one of the American teams, like tier 2 American teams, going for Nagasarian and Mirana support.
That's so cheesy.
It's so cheesy, but it worked. It's like, well, you're in snare, you might as well get a 5-second arrow as well.
Extra cheese.
So it was kind of fun. I don't think DK has enough creativity, as your Hexagon said, to go for that. But as we say that, Invictus Gaming, now they have Chuan's hero. And it's going to be a Rubik.
Yeah, it's a Rubik for them. For DK, they also have some great late game synergy. You can Song of the Siren to set up a call down. Maybe they'll get, I don't know, an Enigma, a Magnus, some big team fight composition. We'll see what direction they want to take this. They have one way to deal with Lifesteal's Rage. Normally, you want to get at least 2 or 3. Rubik, the choice for IG, the Chuan Rubik that you mentioned. I imagine DK are going to ban out a bunch of junglers here, since if they don't and they give away a Rubik plus Chen, a Rubik plus Enchantress, that could be trouble for them. But we'll see what direction they want to take it. And as for IG, where do you think they're headed now? And traditionally when they've run the Lifestealer, it's been with Zhou's Lone Druid a lot of times. The YYF offlane Lifestealer in a tri-lane sometimes, and then a Zhou Lone Druid. Very powerful combo in the past. Do you think they'd go for it here?
They can go for the Lone Druid for the Warrior, but I think what worries me about DK is that they're doing exactly what you said. They're running the junglers. But let's not forget that with the Lifestealer, you open the ability to have a Storm Spirit and have a Lifestealer bomb as well.
And DK don't actually have stuns. All they have is Song of the Siren.
Yeah. So, and remember, even if you're in snare, you can zip away.
Yeah. All it does, you can Song to get out of trouble, but you don't have any way to lock him down.
So, here comes the Weaver and the Jakiro Van. I think the Weaver, of course, very, very annoying against Lifestealer, so it's a very deserved van. But IG can go for any... They can even go for an anti-mage Lifestealer duel if you want. I don't think they will, because it's IG and they don't favor the anti-mage as much. But they can really pretty much go for any other carry as well. And with those two, you can have control. And now this is interesting, because DK says, yeah, you can get the Storm Spirit, but if you get the Storm Spirit, we'll have a Queen of Pain going for you. And IG is like, no problemo, we have the Outworld Devourer.
I feel like I'm watching an escalating arms race
Wow,
here.
this is really fast. Now the Nyx Assassin against the Outworld Devourer. And now the Treant Protector against the Nyx Assassin.
You pick Lifestealer, I'll counter you with Naga.
I told you! Called it!
You pick Queen of Pain, I'll counter you with OD. You pick OD, I'll counter you with Nyx. And now IG, trump card is deployed. The Joker's out. It's the Treant. Game, set, match, IG. Let's go next series.
No, you can't win against that lineup, sorry.
Sorry, yeah. We're just going to shut down the broadcast now, Kawa, so shut it down. Let's run the outro.
I hope you enjoyed the game. The game starts and finishes with the draft, apparently.
Yeah.
But really...
Your 3-line catch-all is bullshit, Bruno. It ends with the GG. Wrong. It ends with the tree.
Yeah.
The tree.
So, how do you do this?
They actually have Gyrocopter, which is pretty good against living armor. They have Gyro. Also, it's the weaker tree. It's only the new and disproved.
Have you seen IG play tree? They actually played it pretty similar to what Quantic does. They get levels very, very fast. And now they go for Leshrac because they sound like you. It's like Gyrocopter good against tree, but we also want something else. And they're going for the Leshrac to burn those charges really fast. Because, to be honest, DK doesn't have the best of pushing lineups. Leshrac makes more sense if you have a Chen, if you have a Treant Protector, sorry, not a Treant Protector, Nature's Prophet. If you have some ways to push. But right now, if you look at DK's lineup, they only have the images from Nagasarian to just force the push. The rest of the things are very good at clearing creeps, but not as good at clearing towers. So it seems like a counter pick, especially designed to just make it so that the Treant Protector is not so annoying. But then again, how do you lane this? You're pretty much, if you're DK, you're forced into an offensive tri-lane. Because Gyrocopter and Nagasarian, they both cannot go to the offlane by themselves. They will die.
And IG are going to finish it off with a bounty hunter pick.
I love this.
Well, we'll talk about that a little bit more as the heroes are picked up. It'll be a YYF bounty hunter. I actually like DK's draft a lot. You like the Treant pick. IG have really strong lanes, but to me, they have to absolutely destroy these lanes. Because if they don't, they pick the bounty hunter, they have 0 counter push. They have Fade Bolt. That is it. Sure, DK don't have the best pushing lineup, but they've got a strong 5-man lineup. Lots of AoE, lots of lockdown. IG, very few heroes that can just take a team fight, aside from Lifestealer walking in. There's no Magnus, there's no Darkseer, there's nothing that's a big teamfight initiator. I think if DK get through this laning stage, I actually give them the edge heading into the mid game. But there is Treant, there is OD, there's very strong laning heroes, and it's going to be tough with living armor probably on that bounty hunter all game.
Yeah, and I mean, I think this will actually not only be about the laning, but Gyrocopter, a hero that you can either go safe or go greedy. With the OD being there, you will be forced to go BKB first. Like Aquila into drums into VKB. You can't go for a big MKV item or a Daedalus or whatever.
He doesn't need to, though, because they have a lot of supports that do big damage. Naga does really big damage with Riptide.
Yeah.
Queen of Pain, lots of burst.
Well, Naga is
Nyx,
not going
lots
to
of
be a
burst.
support, I think.
Well, even better then. More
Yeah,
damage.
More damage. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, they will need some kind of defense. And IG, while they have the tree, while they have the OD, as you say, they'll have to be careful because DK's lineup packs a punch. However, will that be enough with the current form of DK and IG? We will have to see. Because at the moment, with how these teams have been playing, even if DK has a bit better lineup, I wouldn't count IGI just out of being outpicked.
I think the unspoken issue here for DK might be that they just didn't see this coming. Like, even if their lineup matches up well on paper, we saw last game, they struggle against unusual tactics. They're not the most adaptable team. Sometimes the early movement is questionable from DK. And with IG, they have heroes that if you give them a good start, they'll snowball hard. Bounty Hunter, OD, Lifestealer. All three of these are snowball heroes to some extent. They scale with items, yes, but if they get a good start, they're very hard to deal with. So DK's got to get through this laning stage. That's their big concern, and I feel just the surprise factor alone could be trouble for them. But if they get through it and we get to the mid game in an even footing, I do favor DK a bit.
Well, I mean, they will have one of the lanes that they will win for sure. And that's the lane where the Bounty Hunter will be in. Because if you put the...
Well, and the lane where... I thought you were going to say where the OD is going to be. Because the OD is going to win his lane.
No,
sure.
I was saying DK. DK is going to win the lane against the Bounty Hunter. Because the Bounty Hunter, if he goes against the tri-lane, just one sentry and he'll be completely zoned out. You can't play against a Net and the Leshrac stun and the Nyx stun and Bannerburn. And if he goes against a Gyrocopter, that's actually a lineup that favors the Gyrocopter a lot. Bounty Hunter against the Gyrocopter struggles.
That's if you get sentry wards. Also against the support Leshrac, the living armor will be useless with Edict there.
Yeah.
So I believe even at level 1, Edict removes living armor with each attack. So yeah, it goes away real quick.
Yeah, exactly. But then again, I mean, if the Bounty Hunter wants to trade Harass with you, going like in base Ginata, you just pop the Rocket Barrage and he trades unfavorably. And if he wants to just stay around and farm creeps, all the Gyrocopter has to do is max Flak Cannon. And all the passive damage will just mow Bounty Hunter away.
IG's lineup is, I feel it's very cute. Like, it's a cutesy lineup, right? You have the OD to be Queen of Pain mid, you've got living armor because it's great for most offlaners and it's annoyed in general, but I feel like DK has got substance to their lineup.
Substance.
IG is all fluff.
I don't know, I like fluff.
Yeah, fluff and stuff.
Yeah.
He's in Las Vegas now.
He's in Las Vegas with the rest of the team. They were some of them were yesterday for the anime convention.
He wanted an Elgato from me.
Really? Did you give him an Elgato?
Somehow he ended up taking 3. Like he sweet talked me into giving him 3 Elgatos.
Wow.
He's like, I need one for my girlfriend, I need one for myself, I need one for the stash. And then he's like, I won't even let IX Mike use it more than 1 or 2 games because I gave Mike a special courier and he's got to use that. That guy drives a hard bargain. Like, he might look like a nice guy, he might sound like a nice guy. Don't let it fool you.
So Golden Roshan is out. Now it's time for Elgato.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay.
Well, on that note, we'll introduce the teams, Bruno. The team that's got the Roshan courier. It'll be 430 on your OD. He crushed on the Templar Assassin mid last game. YYF playing the Bounty Hunter, rushing a bottle, and heading mid. IG up to some shenanigans with these lanes. Faith, your Treant Protector heading into the jungle. Observers and sentries picked up on him. Zhou on the Lifestealer, early Stout Shield, standard items for him. And same for Chuan. He did buy the courier. On the Radiant side, it's Team DK. Super, playing the Nyx Assassin. Die or MMY on your support Naga Siren. Burning, handling the Gyro. QQQ, support Leshrac. So that gives us a solo mid Nyx for Super. And then last but not least, RTK on Queen of Pain.
And this will be interesting because that Bounty Hunter mid, that changes things.
That is not what DK expected.
Definitely not. And more surprisingly, offlane Ferrari 430, I think he knows they will be against a Gyro. But then again, Burning seems to be going for the solo lane. He wants to have that Ring of Protection, going for the quick Basilius, and then Aquila.
You know, I think the big thing here is they saw Super's play Nyx, and Super always goes mid. So they said, we can put our Bounty Hunter 1v1 against the Nyx Assassin. And that's a matchup that, even if all your mana gets burnt, you can just still trade auto attacks with Janata. Bounty Hunter has ridiculous base armor. Yes, Nyx is 4. Bounty Hunter has mother effing 6.
Yep.
YYF is going to win in terms of the auto attack harassment, so I think this, just to get that strong 1v1 matchup, and you give him the fastest level 6 possible, very clever laning decision. OD isn't an active mid.
No.
He's a hero that sits in farm, so I like the fact that they've put him in a side lane.
It's all about whether ROTK can be super aggressive against the OD and just blink away from the creep, or blink into the OD and just try to get some damage into him. Because otherwise it will be just the same as it was a mid. And it's really funny because ROTK says like, oh, I was trying to dodge you and I find you here now. This is clearly not fun. Will they rotate lanes? Do you think DK has to rotate lanes to match up these heroes better, or just they commit to this?
The problem for me is I don't actually know if they can get a kill. Even if you do net Joe, he can still pop Rage and block nearly all of the damage coming his way. Burning has been thrown back into the tier 1 here. There will be a split art to disengage. No real commitment yet. I don't know if they can get kills, because there's always Living Armor, and Rubik is one of the best defensive supports. They would have to catch out Chuan, and you look at Chuan's positioning, tucked behind the tree line, back behind the tower. You can't really go on Lifesteal because of Rage and Living Armor. You have to go on Rubik, but if you can't find the Rubik, you can't kill him. So I just don't think they'll get any kills here. And then you look at their 2 solo lanes. Bounty Hunter for Nyx, I would give Bounty Hunter a slight edge, but at best it's a wash. And then OD is going to crush face versus Queen of Pain, at least should do so. So I like the lanes a bit better for IG as currently constructed, and I feel DK might have to make an adjustment.
What's this ward about, the top lane, this Radiant ward so close to the tower? It doesn't even give vision of the path towards the jungle. I find it quite weird. I don't usually see the ward there.
Yeah, that's very unusual. There has been sort of this evolving warding metagame almost, where you try to outthink your opponent. So they know where you normally like to place wards, so you put them in a spot they won't expect. And let me tell you, Bruno, this is a very unexpected ward spot. So
yeah,
that's all I can really think of. It will help you see a TP and then a hero running forward into the lane, but yeah, it's not the most useful ward.
No, but well,
at least as far as I can tell.
YYF is going to secure the rune. Oh, YYF will be happy now. He has a bottle and he will be able to... Oops, top lane.
They found Joe, they brought him low, and now we'll have a pause from Burning.
Yeah. YYF is going to get a DD rune right now, and he's going to be happy because now he will have the control of the lane against Super. Super hit level 4, of course. Bounty Hunter still level 3 because he had to forfeit a couple creeps to just get into that rune. But Super is now out of mana, out of bottle charges. He will have the bottle crow. The crow is still not flying yet.
Yeah, let me actually see. Do they have gold to upgrade it? Looks like no gold to upgrade the courier yet. It will be coming soon on that support Naga. And I felt YYF could have been a little more aggressive in this lane because you have Living Armor at level 1, so maybe they're worried about a tower dive top, but I feel like he should have been trading auto attacks a bit more, but still, with the DD rune now, he'll be in great shape. Yeah,
he'll be in great shape. He'll have a full bottle for himself. And ROTK, bottom lane, he somehow doesn't have any Astral Imprisonment charge. Like debuff. He has all the full intelligence, so I guess OD is playing a little bit more passive. Maybe he's scared of some rotation, but the supports have been shown up there as well, so he doesn't have to be afraid. Maybe he should put one of these wards to see if there's a TP incoming. But as of now, OD, knowing that he's not entirely safe in that long lane, because as I said before, ROTK can blink into him, just a couple auto attacks, 1 or 2 screams. And wow, sorry about this, but check Queen of Pain. Look at her skill build.
2 points in Shadow Strike and stats. No, actually no stats, just 4 GG branches.
Okay.
Yeah, RTK holding that last skill, but I thought stats as well, but it is just 4 branches. Joe drops low in the top lane, the turnaround comes with Burning, however, can't bring him down.
Nice done.
We had our unpause.
Yep.
Well, now your DD runs out on YYF, and now Super is very, very sad. Pops a Spike Carapace, will disengage, but lane is going to be hard for him now. He'll need to bottle Crow constantly. RTK is doing really well in the safe lane, though. He's 9-4 against a Living Armored OD. Has given up 6 assists, but he's playing the matchup very well. And you got to do this early because later on it gets very hard.
Yep. He dives right now, or OTK dies, but he's in a bad position. He knows he can't play as aggressive. Ferrari, with that Living Armor, he's going to be okay. And top lane, there's a little bit of engaging, but most importantly, what needs to happen here is Faith needs to start getting levels. That level 1 Living Armor, not as impressive as before. It's just 4 hits and it's gone. You need to get to level 3 fast, and then it starts becoming worrisome.
Yeah, meanwhile, bottom lane, continuous Astral Imprisonment spam. RTK is out of mana, but the Living Armor Seems like 430, especially with 2 points in Shadow Strike, might just need it constantly on himself, which means there won't be living armor for YYF. There might not be any for the Lifestealer either. And that's something perhaps DK look to take advantage of this, go for an early tower dive. You want to play around the living armor cooldowns, especially the new one. Well, it's only 4 charges anyway, and against Edict, against the Rocket Barrage, we'll see how much it does, but overall, Bruno, I think DK doing really well here in the laning stage.
Yeah.
They're winning the CS battle mid. Super 16-6.
TK zoning Ferrari out. Ferrari has to pop this out.
Yeah,
No more
even the
reaching
OD is only just now pulling ahead. That's with constant living armor spam as an OD versus Queen of Pain.
Yeah. We'll see what happens with that lane in a little bit more. YYF, the DD rune expires. Super has used all his bottle charges, but now they're trying to guess. And Super now gets lucky and he gets the top rune, which is a
Oh,
regen.
that is big time.
Yep.
You wait until you hit level 6, you can pump Vendetta, or pop your regen rune, then immediately Vendetta, and have a full combo for everything and 2 impales in a chase. Regen rune on Nyx Assassin is absolutely huge. One of the best runes you can get at this stage in the game. I imagine we'll see him hold it until he hits level 6. If he TP's top and IG aren't prepared, which they might not be, we'll see if they go and buy some soon. This could be a disaster for them.
Yeah, I mean, YYF going for the right build, I think, in this situation. Maxing Shuriken toss. He knows that he'll have to bottle a lot. And if Super pops the Spike Carapace, he will throw in Shuriken just after it expires. And that's a lot of damage for Super. He can't afford to be harassed out of the lane. It will be all about who gets to level 6 first. And if YYF gets first, he will be able to track and Super will not be able to Vendetta him.
Yeah,
but if it's the other way around, now he can kill him.
He has popped the regen rune now. Super 22-6, just dominating this bounty hunter. Finally, however, the picked up steam has 430 on the bottom lane. We'll see Zhou maybe in a tiny bit of trouble, dive fishing for a net. But very dangerous to dive against this strong defensive trialing of IG. I still feel DK's in good shape, though, because when you run these kind of lanes for IG, you really expect to just crush the laning stage. As we talked about before, they have a pretty underwhelming team fight in the mid game. Bounty Hunter, not a strong team fighter. OD, a decent team fighter with items, but no real team fight lockdown till Faith hit 6, and he's level 2 now. I still think strategically the way this game is developing favors DK big time, but those first early track ganks could change everything.
We'll see if they are managed to take advantage of that fact, because this is really good, as you say, if they start playing more aggressive. If they just keep playing passive and a farming game, I'm not sure how much that favors DK. Of course, they do have the Gyrocopter, they do have the Naga Siren, but it's a support Naga Siren. And the more space you give to IG to grow, it's not about the heroes that they have, but rather the capability of the team to execute, which will eventually lead to a team fight in their favor, and you don't want to be there when that happens.
I do want to mention
YYF rotating top. Something's going to happen.
We'll have a Super rotating here as well. So both solos rotating into the fight. It's all going to come down to initiation here. IG, immediate TP top from YYF, and then heads to the top rune. But that one, well, he's already gotten an invis, so he's just heading back mid. Super, actually, I believe, was spotted going back mid, so that's why we see YYF rotating off the bat. Well, that first early movement not accomplishing much. The good news for IG is that 430 is 25, 26, and 21, but overall, Burning's farming. Your Nyx Assassin is actually your lead farmer. DK, still in good shape, but nice work here by YYF. Constantly tracking Super every time he enters the lane. It does make it very hard for him to gank. So that is the one nice thing about running the Bounty Hunter versus Nyx mid. Can Nyx actually gank?
Yeah.
It's going to be obvious if he does.
It's going to be tough, but also Ferrari finally zoning Queen of Pain out of the lane. Queen of Pain just walks back out, not because he was harassed out to death, but he
they're
doesn't have
going
any
in
more mana.
top. Zhou could be in trouble here. They're waiting for the net. They try to bait out a rage, but Zhou will wisely hold on to it and escape.
That's very good.
Oh, Dai tried to pump fake the net there, hoping to bait a rage. If he rages, then he would have netted, but
Bounty Hunter
didn't
again,
happen.
and they see him again. That ward that we were talking about. They see all the TPs from the Bounty Hunter, so now we have the explanation. They all saw YYF TPing.
Yeah, just in range of the tower. You know, it's interesting. Bounty Hunter, sure you can walk top, but he can't really push the lane. So if you walk top, then it's very obvious you're missing because the lane is pushing in. So because of that, I actually think that this ward is super clever, and now we see why.
Yeah, I mean,
If it was a hero like a Beastmaster or Magnus who can just clear the wave and then walk top, I don't know
Right.
that it would do as much, but in this situation when it's a hero who can't push the wave, I think it really makes a huge difference.
burning his track. They decide to go on this. Is it going to be
Oh,
enough?
this looks bad for Zhou. He could be in trouble now. Rage is going to end. He'll be forced to run away. QQQ low. Not
Track.
dead yet. YYF on the chase. He wants to get this first blood. Burning. Trying to find a kill of his own. RTK will strike first with the first blood. They've rotated 5 top. A strong 5-man lineup. And in the end, it will be a 2-for-0.
Maybe
No
a
track
tower.
kills. And now a tower as well. Not the strongest pushing lineup, but they do have Edict, and they don't have a creep wave to worry about. DK, oh, this is scary for IG. A lineup that, to me, really need to win the laning stage. They've lost it now, Bruno. They're down by over 1,000 gold. Experience is even, but losing a tower this early, going to be tough. Living armor, not going to be enough against this many heroes. DK, when they're trying to take a tower, will make sure they actually finish it.
And now, seeing that, Faith goes to the mid lane for a little while. He's going against Super, but he's tanky enough that even being level 4, he will not be able to be burst out by a combo. However, he does need that level. He's going to hit level 5 if he survives here this creep wave. That's going to be good news for IG, which will be able to just be a little bit more aggressive and be more safe with that Tree and Protector having a stronger living armor. And that Owl Devourer, I think Ferrari is kind of like this team's only hope at the moment.
Joe, got to be careful about farming this far out. Even though he's got rage, they can just auto-attack him and wait for this rage to end. He has rage now. He'll try to TP out. Can he get out in time? Oh, no. Not long enough. Only a level 2 rage. He'll go down again. And despite Track being on the side of IG, you got to find kills to make that work for you, and they are still trying to get on the board here. 3-0 your score, 9.5 minutes in. DK, they've taken the tier 1 top. They'll rotate RTK mid. He has been tracked, so it's spotted. But IG, just not a great defensive lineup, as in team fights at least. They've got living armor, they've got rage, but they can't actually win the fight. They just live for a bit longer and then die anyway.
Yeah, but then again, I think this might have been for design, like by design. I don't think they were expecting to just be dominating early on, but once they get level 6, the infest damage will give them a higher burst of damage. Owl Devourer with the ultimate will also be doing a lot. And Chuan, he has a lot of spells to steal right here. Whatever he goes for, if he gets Split Earth, he can be very disruptive with an instant Split Earth. If he gets Diabolic Edict, he'll be terrible, very good at pushing. He has a Blink to steal, he has been there. Every single one of those heroes has something for the Rubik. It's all about getting level 6 on him.
Yeah, that's big. The other big thing is the early mech for 430, assuming he does go for it, which seems likely because nobody else is going to farm it. They don't have the best team fight lineup in terms of abilities, but an early mech can really compensate for that. And you look at DK, nobody really rushing a mech. Their farmers are not heroes that go for it. So if they want to get one, it'll be a much later mech. But I really like what DK is doing top lane. They took the early tier 1, now they're pulling back the wave. The benefit of running a Radiant aggressive Trine is that you can do this. Not something you can do on the Dire side. This is going to slow down Chuan's level progression. And IG, a bit starved here for experience. You can see these supports against the Nyx Assassin, terrified to leave the lane.
Yeah. And that's what Nyx Assassin create as well. Lots of space for your team to farm, lots of space to just rotate and get some towers. Now, except OD, he feels particularly safe for some reason. The other 4 are going together. There's a smoke now.
Wow, they're going in. They do have overgrowth. That's why. But unfortunately, it will get revealed rather quickly. YYF is here. Radiant, not spotting him yet. They're going to go in on QQQ. Call down is cometh. Joe on the run, not dead yet. He'll infest to be able to escape. Pops back out, now rages. Looks to run away. Faith with the defensive disengage. Overgrowth, so now will look to run away. Super giving chase. He's got an impale. It's cooling down. The track is there. It'll buy time for them to run away, I believe. Dust deployed. IG in a headlong retreat. 430 comes in with a buckler. And we'll bail them out. In the end, they get a track kill. And they live.
That's actually a good win. Not a huge win, but something that IG desperately needs. A track kill for 4 heroes. It's also forced rotations for pretty much all of DK's heroes as well. OD got there, he got something, and now he's going to farm the mid lane a little bit safer. Our OTK wants to contest, but no, he gets Astral Imprisoned, and this is a level 4 Astral Imprisoned now, so 10 less experience for him, intelligence for him.
Yeah, this could be a problem for the Nyx Assassin as well. Does have Arcane Boots, super does, but you get Astral a few times, you may not have enough for your full combo. Or maybe you use 1 Impale, you don't get a second one off. 430, however, could be caught mid, he's in a bit of trouble. A Blink, a Shadow Strike as well, super giving chase, but unable to dive the tier 1. DK just not feeling confident for the extra level of aggression. And I think that's wise. They don't really need to tower dive. They can just sit in lanes and farm and get these early big items. If you get, say, a BKB on Burning, he's going to be almost unkillable in these fights. IG, in theory, have a lot of physical damage, but it's a Lifesteal, which is phase boots. It's a Bounty Hunter, which is basic boots. In practice, their physical damage isn't there, so BKBs will be king for DK. That's something I'd like to see them go for, not only on Burning, but also on RTK. And
the other thing they have to worry about is that Naga hit level 6 already, so now Song of the Siren is available, meaning...
It could be filthy. Song, call down, impale.
Yeah, and even if they have a bad team fight on their favor, they can always disengage with that spell. There's nothing that they can do to just stop that, so they can choose their own battles, and that's what Naga Siren gives you, even after the support. You can decide, should I go this here? No, this is going bad, just pop the song, run away, fight another day.
They have gotten level 6 on Chuan. You mentioned that as a key X factor here for IG, and they will secure it now. Can he steal something big? Be it an Impale, be it a cooldown, a song. Anything could make the difference for Chuan. Lots of good spells to steal, but for the time being, he's got to walk near an enemy here to do it. And the tax is definitely on. The support tax that we always talk about with Nyx. You'll see, look at all the sentries for IG. They are playing prepared, and this is absolutely what you have to do, but it is expensive. That means no bracers for Chuan. It means no next items for some of these other heroes.
YYF got a free Scream of Pain hit on from our OTK. He just popped the screen to find the creeps and he was next to it.
He's a bit of a masochist, that YYF. Likes the abuse.
Yep.
And RTK likes to dish it out. If you haven't seen him dishing it out, well, you haven't watched any VODs of him screaming his lungs off at land.
Oh, yeah. He definitely does that.
He's got an impressive set of lungs. Like,
yeah.
He's an impressive specimen, that guy.
Joe baiting a lot there. They have our OTK. It's only our OTK, so our OTK knows that he can't go on Joe. So Rubik and YYF spending a little bit of time that could be wasted elsewhere. Fortunately for them, Super is also rotating a lot. And now what did he steal? He stole Scream of Pain. That's good for anti-push, I guess.
Yeah, they do need burst damage, so stealing a spell like that is a big deal, actually. But, well, he's still squishy. I'm still a little bit worried about Chuan. Feels like he could go down. Super, they smoked up mid.
They're rotating with the Lifestealer Bomb on YYF.
And while that's happening, DK is also rotating. They have Vendetta online. Super coming in. He'll find 430 now. Mech is up, though. Impale's there. Can they burst him down in time? They must be perfect with their chain stun. He's low, but Living Armor might make the difference here. He's meching up. He's going to turn it around. Now Tron comes in. That level 2 Scream, looking to let it fly. He drops them all in a hurry. Now 430 giving chase. DK on the run. They went aggressively into the Dire Jungle. They give up 3. They give up some track kills as well. And, well, that's the power of the early mech.
Yep, you can't do this to IG. You can't take this engagement that takes long, because if something's good about IG is their positioning in the map, the ability to rotate. If you have to go for a kill, has to be a clean kill, just straight away, less than 5 seconds. They took way too much, and the whole team rotated in.
RTK really wants to go for a kill here on Joe, but Joe still has rage. There's still Living Armor,
The damage.
and he ain't getting that kill. You could see it, though. He's had that look in his eyes. Like, damn it, Living Armor, why must you interrupt with my swag? The good news is Birding working towards a BKB, Ogre Club up, and I still don't feel IG have many ways to deal with this. You talked about how weak OD is against BKBs earlier. Well, Gyro with an early BKB could definitely punish him. So, all definitely not lost here for DK, but they've slowed down, and it's where IG just want to take clever fights. Defensive fights, bait DK into overextending. DK, to me, shouldn't be the aggressors. They have a Nyx, they have an aggressive lineup, but I think if they farm an angle for late game, Gyro, Naga, Queen of Pain is a very strong tri-core. I think they can take it late.
To me, the problem is that Super has just hit level 9. He was level 8 for about 4 to 5 minutes. And that's something you don't know what. You do not want to stop the progression of levels in your Nyx Assassin. That hero relies on getting ahead and ahead in levels. Of course, you need successful guns for that, which is what they weren't getting. But if you're not getting anything, just walking around doing nothing doesn't help you. Get that level 11. Make it so that you can pretty much kill Rubik and even Bounty Hunter in just one hit. And suddenly the game becomes much, much easier.
Yeah, no level 11 for him. Also Vendetta, the cooldown improves as well, which means you can be Vendetta more often. 20 seconds is not even enough to necessarily get across the map. So level 1 Vendetta, not very strong, but he is trying to find some more levels.
YYF top, he's going with the DD rune, he's going for burning.
I had no idea what you just said there. You're like,
YYF going top for burning with Lifestealer inside him. Double damage as well, bam, the hit, the track, the cooldown is going to be enough. No, they melt. And this is a track kill for Joe and YYF.
Normally you're safe there. There's a tier 1 top. They have some good counter gankers like a Naga, but just too much burst from IG and burning. I mentioned how important the BKB is for him. If he has it there, he definitely lives, but well, he'll get picked off and no way for him to retreat.
Yeah, and it's going to delay the BKB a little bit more, as we said before. It's going to delay Burning's farm, which is always good. And that's one of the weaknesses of DK. Yeah, Super is having a good time on the Queen of Pain. He's going for an Orchid. But if you stop burning, they can't do as much as other teams. They don't have a plan B. Our OTK, hit or miss, we talked about that. Super on the Nyx Assassin is a Nyx Assassin, so as much farm as he gets, once the late game counts, it's not going to be very important.
Oh, he's going for a pick off here on Joe. He's going to have to impale him quickly. Joe, well, too far back now to engage. He'll come back into the creep wave. Remember, there's Living Armor. They'll impale, but it's a long range impale. Super hit him while he was running forward. Very easy to get the rage off there, and he'll simply TP out. It's a tough kill. I mean, maybe that's where you just start with an Impale instead of a Vendetta Strike, but I don't think they had the burst to kill him without getting off Vendetta, so ultimately just not a kill they could have gotten, I feel.
No, and that's again choosing Super choosing to spend his time in things that do not give him anything. Super has to manage his time better, manage his farm better. He has 1600 gold, and probably he'll go for something like a...
They're going in mid on Die. It's going to be 3 heroes,
Wow.
4, an Infest Bomb to the face. Now the Naga Siren brought down. Song of the Siren is online, but no buyback available. Super popping Spike Carapace, goes in for a stun, gets impaled by Chuan, stealing the Spike Carapace now. Stealing the Impale, I believe. Or did he steal Impale first there? Actually,
No.
might have been Impale.
No,
but
he's Impale.
either way, great kill. They find 2. Track gold galore. And IG, well, maybe not the best teamfighting lineup, but just the better teamfight execution. Finding a lot of pickoffs. DK playing a little sloppy here.
Well, they're 7-0 in the last about 10 minutes.
That's right. They started off 3-0. DK did, and look where they are now, Bruno. Really struggling.
Yep, so suddenly the goal is still for some reason in DK's favor. I think they have maximized their farming much better, but the EXP is now going for IG, and once those track kills start coming in level 2, Bounty Hunter is level 10. He's about to hit level 11, and then suddenly the goal difference starts to become bigger and bigger every time they get a track kill.
19.5 minutes in, our score only 7-3. We saw from the stats in the pre-show these are not your highest action teams as of late in the Chinese scene, but they're looking to go on the tier 1 mid. They've popped Edict, Naga Illusions as well, tanking the tower up for the time being. The tower dropping quickly, and IG biding their time. Level 11, still not up on YYF, but coming soon. While this happens, our Treant Protector lurks on the high ground. He's walking in now. Zhou will engage directly into 4 enemy heroes. They'll net him. Now they must run. Track there. Dai still has Song. That's an Impale that completely whiffs. And IG on the defensive here, not yet committing. DK moving forward. ROTK in position, maybe to engage. He's working towards an Orchid. Oblivion staff up. Nothing big complete. Track comes forth on 2. And DK not confident they can take a big team fight despite having the better team fight abilities. Just not feeling that confidence, Bruno. They'll back off, and now IG surge forward, looking at a tier 1 mid. DK, I imagine they'll defend here. Remember, they have Song, they have Call Down, they've got a great AoE combination, but no BKB yet on Burning, and he's only level 9. IG will back off, now working towards an armlet on Zhou, and in the end, IG put the fear of God into DK. They're afraid to take a fight.
Truck is one of the greatest deterrents for team fights. If you know you're trucked, especially if you know that 1 or 2 of your team members are tracked, you do not want to engage. You want to have that positional advantage, that capability to juke if you need to just hide in the trees to get the counter initiation. If you don't have that, oh, Zhou's
gotten caught here. There is a net. It's been used early. He can just rage and TP out, and that's exactly what he'll do. No way to stop it. Well, Dai had to hold that net a bit longer, but didn't, and gives up a kill. Or misses a potential kill.
They're jumping the gun a lot in these Zhou ganks. Of course, you give him a TP back home. It's time that he's not spending farming, but
they had 4 heroes not farming.
Yeah, you want to kill him, and that's not what you do if you want to commit into that. Yes, you have Burning that potentially, if the game gets late game, he can out-carry a Lifestealer, but with 7 kills, as I said before, and they not getting a single one, I think you have to start thinking not about the late game, but rather about the mid game and how you can turn this around, because otherwise there will be no late game to talk about.
I'd like to see them be a little more confident just to use Song of the Siren. We haven't seen them use it offensively once. If you just drop Song of the Siren, you catch 3 or 4 IG heroes, you set up a call down, you impale through that. You can't kill some of the heroes, like Lifestealer's just going to rage and walk away, but you can kill heroes like an OD before he Astrals, maybe before even Max. You can kill a Bounty Hunter quite quickly. Now that they have a BKB especially, I feel DK should be looking for a team fight. They don't want to dive a tower. They want to be careful not to get too many heroes tracked unless they're ahead in terms of kills in that engagement. But I still feel if they execute right, they have the stronger 5-man right now, especially with the BKB.
I think they're just scared. They saw that they can't get a single kill in all of these team fights, and they say, well, if we use the Song of the Siren offensively and we do not get the kills, because look at Zhou. Zhou is getting away from them. Maybe they're like feeling that they can't kill anyone, and they will not have the Song of the Siren to escape.
Oh no, Supers come in, but Zhou was baiting him. He'll pop the rage. Now he jumps in on RTK. Waiting for the blink. He'll blink out now. And that's another track kill. YYF just seems to have this knack for being in the right place at the right time. I wish there was a track gold counter. That's one thing I wish Dota 2 had.
Yeah.
It's probably a couple thousand at this point. It's been at least, I'd say, 10 to 11 total heroes involved in track kills so far this game.
Yeah, probably more than that even.
Yeah, there was at least 1 or 2 4-man and then a couple 2-man as well.
So it adds up. Chuan stole Vendetta is level 1 Vendetta, so it's not the biggest thing in the world, but it's a little bit of more of burst damage, which is something that IG initially lacks. So Now they smoke, and they want to go for Queen of Pain. Will they be able to go for it? Ferrari's there.
Yeah, 430 is close to being able to solo kill her. 96 mana, the Queen of Pain, only sitting on 64. I don't know if it's enough yet, but with any kind of backup, it would be an easy kill. And forced off the lane is ROTK. He's actually working towards an Orchid. It's a game for me where I would have liked to see a BKB. I don't feel they need more offense. I feel they just need to live longer. They've got so many stuns, so much burst, but he'll go for the Orchid here. And the thing is, if he gets caught, he's dead. Vendetta, even a Rubik Lift, OD can just pound away at you with that orb. After the Orchid, RTK still needs another item.
The problem with the Orchid is that who do you target? I mean, you want to target the tree so that you don't get overgrowth or living armor. You want to target YYF so he can't escape. Chuan because he's a Rubik. Ferrari because, of course, he deals no damage if he is silenced. And Joe because that's why he can't escape with Rage. But you can't Orchid the 5 of them. You have to choose only one. And
What?
the other 4
You
will
can't?
punch you.
What a crappy item. You should be able to 5-man Orchid the entire enemy
Jesus,
team.
yeah.
It's called Silencer. It's a pretty good hero.
They told me, yeah.
As,
No one picks it for some reason.
as for DK, Merlini's sad about that, by the way.
Yeah.
He's a big Silencer fanboy. But DK will group up his 5 bottom. They went for a smoke gank, IG. YYF once again, right place, right time. He was running down the river. He spotted out the Nyx Assassin super coming around to wrap around for Zhou. And Zhou, very hard target to go on. He's probably the one you don't want to engage into. DK, looking to take this tier 1. They've grouped up as 5. They've, in theory, have that big team fight lineup. The BKB on Burning, the Song of the Siren, the mass AoE stuns, yet they are afraid to engage. They are playing scared, Bruno. IG, just playing safe.
I don't blame him. I mean, against IG, you know that you can't commit any mistake. You have to be very, very swift when you take these team fights. You do not have to give them time to think. And there's a sentry wall right now, so they know that YYF is here. If Joe decides to infest on him, they will be able to see him. Nope. He just farms, but they know that YYF is there. They know that probably the rest of the team is there as well. Now they de-ward this sentry, but DK is already saying, okay, we're out of here. We're going to try and push this mid tower because we really need the gold. But that mid tower is in full health. You know why?
Living armor.
Jesus, that spell.
Jesus Peasus. Well, maybe with 4 heroes they can try to take the tier 1. But IG, smart play from them. They saw Burning TP top, and immediately they 5-man onto the tier 1 bottom. As for DK, because Burning's top, they make the right choice, which is to back off bottom. They know they can't fight without him. They need Burning in these fights. But they're giving up a tier 1. They're getting little except for creep farm in return. Not generally considered the best trade. Super, he'll rotate into this mid lane.
Well, MMY
He wants to go for a backstab. They've gotten a silence off on YYF, but still alive for the time being. 430, has a 4-staff, a mech available if he needs to pop it. Your Song of the Siren comes out. Joe is fighting through it. He doesn't care. The song's still going. Nobody being affected by it right now, it feels. Overgrowth catches 4, all lumped together. Peas in a pod, not the way they want to be. Burning on the run. He's heading towards Chuan and YYF. But now he'll be astraled. He'll be surrounded, and now he could be in a lot of trouble. The BKB is done. Burning is donezo. IG just outlasting DK in the team fights. 5 heroes alive. No buybacks even needed. The tier 1 mid stays alive, and QQQ will be the next one caught. IG, they invented the face rush lineup back at the G1 League Season 4, and they're showing us a new twist on that face rush lineup now, with Trient as the core of it.
Wow, and they immediately go for Roche, and just like they did the game before, will DK call GG again? I don't think so. I think this time they might have a better chance. But really, after those first 3 kills, they got nothing. And you know what surprises me more about this team fight is that YYF used drums.
He used his drums?
Yes.
First time in the game.
I mean, you know, the Chinese teams, for some reason, they do not want to use their drum charges.
Those things are precious. I tend to use all 4 within the first 2 minutes of having drums.
Pretty
so
much.
That's probably not the best way to use them, but
No,
saving them for 30 minutes, probably not the best either.
no. So using the drums properly to chase there, YYF, getting the tracks, getting all the track gold for his team. You showed the gold graph before. There's a steep change right now. And they have...
That's putting it mildly. That is a cliff.
Yeah.
They're going bungee jumping now, DKR, and, well, I don't know if that bungee cord's going to hold much longer. IG, they take Roche. Chuan now close to a Blink Dagger, a 4-staff. YYF, level 2 track online for him. Don't know if he had it in the last fight, but he certainly does now, and the gold graph suggesting maybe he did. That's a big drop. Joe, he'll work towards a damage item. And DK, this is where we start to feel a lack of items from them. The Orchid on the Queen of Pain, not very useful, it feels, in these fights, because they just can't blow anyone up during the Orchid duration. Then the fights turn around, and RTK is a sitting duck. Burning, sure, he's got this 10-second BKB, but he can't do it alone. They were just kiting Burning, avoiding him. They overgrowth him. They just basically forced him to use the BKB, and he couldn't blow anyone up during that time. And once the BKB ends, once the Orchid ends, the fights turn around and don't go their way.
Yep. Ferrari has 3.3k gold in the bank. Probably he's going to go for a Shipstick. That's what you normally see ODs going for.
Shivas wouldn't be bad either if they just want some more AoE.
Yeah.
It'll also help deal with the Naga Siren Riptide, some of the Gyrocopter AoE physical damage, but yeah, Scythe Device would be your logical choice.
And if they want lots of chase, they can always go for Rod of Atos as well.
The Rod of Bowie.
Why not, right? And Faith walking into ROTK, getting the entangle. Oh, YYF. ROTK is going to disappear.
That's a 4-hero track kill. Was it 5? I think 430 just out of track gold range, but still. You give up 1 track kill, and that's like giving up a tower at this point in the game, I believe. Well, we can actually do the math.
It's 100 extra gold for each ally.
So it's 400 there.
And 200 for himself.
That's 600 plus. Oh, sorry, that's 500 if only 3 allies are there.
And then the
and then another 200 to 300, just hero kill gold. So it's about 800 gold. Once that gets to level 3, once he hits 16, it is literally almost a tower kill.
A tower kill every time, yeah. And now
every hero kills
Super
a tower
is not
kill.
feeling safe. Oh, he immediately went Vendetta. He felt the trouble around. Super just trying to get a kill. He will find no one because everyone's clumped together. YYF, 430, Faith, and Joe walking together. The only lone guy, Chuan. What's he going for? Just nothing, walking around.
Yeah, for the time being, DK are forced into a very defensive position. They have a level 11 Rubik online now. Chuan, 4 staff picked up. A lot of mobility for this team. IG with an Aegis, a mech, and 4k gold and 430. They will win the team fights now. With these items, with this level advantage that they have, DK have to play defensively. They have to split push, and they have to farm burning. They have to get a lot bigger to take some engagements. The problem is if you split push, you're split pushing against the bounty hunter. Very hard to get out of there safely. They'll have to just find whatever gold they can off the map. They can no longer be aggressive.
Nope. And there's a smoke now. They know that everyone's mid. Even if DK goes just to the jungle right now, IG knows where to find them. Burning is left alone. There's a sentry ward in there, knowing they know that the Nyx is not there. They're not baiting. It's just Burning being himself.
Oh, he can't be here. Chuan, 4 staff, lift him up, throw him back. 4 heroes, securing the track gold. Burning, normally known for having really good positioning as a carry, but when there's a 4 staff on Rubik at this, well, not this early, but early enough, it's hard for him to stay alive.
13 kills in a row. 30 minutes into the game, and this looks worse and worse for DK at the moment. The thing about having that bounty hunter, he gets level, he gets gold for your teams. Every single pickoff hurts a lot, and this was a 4-man again, a 4-man track kill. That's another 800 gold going IG's way for just one little kill. Now the last tier 1 tower will be going. If something we have to say about DK is that they're defending their towers well, but I could say that it's more IG not really wanting to push. They're having fun killing people.
You can collect tower gold anytime.
Yeah.
Track gold, well, you've got to be there to get the kill.
Exactly. So Ferrari went for full BKB actually, which
yeah, that's a pretty big item.
is decent.
They can net him, but they can't really hurt him. It's sort of the same issue that IG had earlier against BKBs, which is lack of physical damage. Now that's not a problem because Zhou has a Sanj working towards his classic patented phase. I would say drums, but he skipped them this game. YYF went for them. Sanj and Yasha, armlet. Lots of burst damage from him, lots of physical damage from him. YYF with drums, BKB. Oh no, we might see an initiation here. 430's coming in. Zhou will pop his rage. And a nice blink away. Quick reactions from Super to live. Now they've netted Zhou under the tower. He is Sanj and Yasha up, however, which means very hard to go in. ROTK's jumped in.
What are you doing?
ROTK Dota. He's jumped in. Throws his ult. The song was used. Some severe miscoordination from DK. Bruno's just chuckling. He can't believe it. DK, known for their teamwork. We're not seeing it now. They're in trouble. Burning on the run. 430 just mauling him to bits. Look at the orb damage. This OD packs a punch. Burning will fall.
Trying to
That's
run
4
away.
dead. It could be 5. The Shuriken Toss will not follow you through Blink. But, my God, RTK just blinked into a horrible engagement. And it looked like as soon as he blinked in, Faith said, or rather not Faith, but Dai said, oh, we're not taking this fight. I'm sorry, we're getting out of here. Then RTK throws his ult, and the fight just completely falls apart.
Hey, look at Daddy Longlegs. Broodmother decided to join. You see this, right?
Oh, in the studio we have
Yeah. It's suddenly a random Broodmother.
She's got to help out her friend the Nyx.
Yeah.
In comes the Naga, will just beat this Astrald, and then DK give chase, but reluctantly they will.
Yep.
Super blinking forward, but YYF should be getting out of here scot-free. They still have Aegis, Bruno. They didn't even have to use that thing.
Well,
in fact,
the Aegis is gone now.
yeah, 430 never lost HP in that fight, it seems. He's still at full.
So YYF, sorry, not YYF, Faith now has a 4-staff, and that's a 5 position Treant Protector. A guy that normally gets nothing, he got a 4-staff right now, and that will mean easier initiation. If ROTK wants to go on him like he's going now, Faith is like, I don't really care.
I think he's just pressing, honestly. You can tell that he feels a little bit desperate, and well, that's going to be a desperate Leshrac there. Trying to farm past the river at this point in the game. DK just kind of crumbling here in game number 2.
Out of ideas, out of items, out of anything.
I mean, even ROTK shouldn't have been mid, because he didn't know where IG were, and they have their tier 1 up. He could have died. Fortunately, I guess for him, it was the Leshrac that ended up biting the dust.
Yeah, so Burning, where are you now? Burning is trying to go top where the...
He is close to a butterfly. He needs like 2 items. If he gets 2 items, I think they could still take
But
this.
one of those has to be a Divine Rapier, actually.
Probably. Maybe a Mask of Death and then a Divine. But yeah, he needs something big.
I'm not sure, actually.
I will say,
Butterfly
IG doesn't have a great lineup to break the base. That is a big concern for them, Bruno. Their lineup...
Is it a big concern? They have a
It's
good
a
lineup
concern.
to kill 5 people, and then they can just let the creeps destroy the tower if they want.
I'm just saying, Burning close to a butterfly. IG, no Scythe of Vice up yet, although they're working towards 1 on 430. They don't have an MKB yet. He could live surprisingly long. But yeah, you're right. It's probably going to take more than that. And well, this ain't going to help. ROTK, 3 hero track kill bottom.
Yep, and we keep adding the track kills more and more. Joe is such a happy person. Rubik has a Blink Dagger.
He is so happy right now. Like, the amount of track gold that everyone on this team has. Let's look at Joe's CS this game. 140. He's 70 CS behind Burning. Yet when you look at net worth, he's barely behind it all. 300 gold.
Gold per minute. Everyone is... Well, actually, Faith is pretty low. I guess he was knowing most of this track gold. But he's getting lots of track gold from everywhere right now. From everyone. Joe doesn't care about the tower. They're going to push. They don't have much of a lineup to break base, but they can take this tier 2 with this because no one can defend. The 5v5 right now is entirely in favor of IG, and Super can just come here, try to burn some mana. No, not even that.
He's afraid to go in for mana burn, because if he does, Chuan's going to jump in, he'll blink, he'll lift you, he'll throw you back, then you get Janata'd. YYF can pop BKB, so he won't care about Spike Carapace, and you just die. He can't actually even mana burn here, so he's got to just give up his tower. And DK, they'll have to split push, they'll have to stall. Roshan number 2 is coming soon. I don't know if they can take that Roshan fight. Maybe they can steal Roshan with a well-timed Song of the Siren. You catch the lifesteal before he rages, something like that, but... Oh man, Bruno, this is still looking dicey for DK. In game 2, they're on the ropes in the Alienware Cup, and Faith looks to basically put the nails in the coffin. He's used the overgrowth now, catch RTK. OD ult deployed, QQQ on the run. They've astraled 1, they want to bring him down, they found 2. And now they might find more. RTK blinking away, but they've given chase. Look at the move speed. This OD has got some wings on him. He'll flap, he'll chase. YYF throws out another track. Die? Didn't die. We'll try and stall the lane out. And Burning will farm towards his next item. But they're finding... oh, they're going to find Die too.
Yep.
He'll pop a song. He might live, but that means no Song of the Siren for 2 minutes now. And Roshan about to respawn 30 seconds. That's Rosh. DK... They've given up Roche number 2 if IG won it.
Trying is still chasing. They won MMY. They won.
He's got 4-step.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a little farther
They just track him.
So if IG want to play the safe, they can take the tier 2 mid and then go directly into Roche, and DK will not have Song. There's no way for them to contest.
Yep. Suddenly that Song is wasted. I mean, when you're a support player, you do not want to use the Song to save yourself. Of course, you don't want to give track goal and kills to the enemy. But if you can save it, just please try and save it. Because right now, look at that. They don't even... Yeah, Joe was reluctant to even get the creep away. They just wanted to go straight into Roshan, so...
I just think IG's playing this lineup super well. Their draft is decent. I mean, we see the power of tree in certain situations, but it seems to me like they've just moved around the map better this game. They've moved really well, and DK has been constantly getting caught out, which is just credit to IG. Their item pickups, having Chuan being farmed with a blink and a force, it is hard for RTK.
Yeah.
Like, he can be caught from 2 screens away by this Rubik, and if anyone else is there, he dies. So, as much as it's natural to say DK are just playing badly, I think it is more that just IG, they've gone for something unusual, but they have a game plan behind it. They've got a way to execute it, and they're just rolling with it.
Yeah, and this goes to prove again the power of Bounty Hunter. An offlaner has been forgotten a little bit because he deals really bad against tri-lanes. Of course, he gets nothing if you put a sentry ward there, but if you have a team that is built around being able to get pickoffs, and boy, they did got a lot of pickoffs these games.
Did they ever?
Yeah, I mean, this hero can put you ahead just by himself.
And YYF, he's got a... I wonder if we'll see an Ethereal Blade from him. That could be pretty cool. Shotgun Bounty Hunter into an OD ult. Oh, that could hurt.
That could be fun.
But probably just a casual Ghost Scepter. It is great against Naga. I like these item selections from IG in general. Like, Chuan getting Blink Force is standard on Rubik, but it really discourages DK from split pushing. So easy for them to get caught. The Ghost Scepter removes Naga Net. That can't really help you. Faith's got a Force Staff, just cheap, cost-effective items to help them take fights, and also to counter DK's secret weapon, which is the Naga Net.
It's not going to be enough for DK. I don't know. There's a full butterfly burning, but as we said before, he needs at least another item, and that item has to be huge. Otherwise, they just will shrug off the damage with the mech. With all, look at YYF, almost 2k HP. Owl Devourer,
And he's got an E-Blade.
Yeah.
Watch out. Your shotgun OD is coming, Bruno, and it's going to hurt.
It's going to hurt.
This little Bounty Hunter packs a big punch. That's actually my favorite pub build on Bounty Hunter. E-Blade, Dagon 5. Because he's one of the only heroes that can build that reliably because of track hold.
Yeah, and Faith has a gem and Chuan has a gem. So 2 gems in the team. No support will be left behind. Super will not be able to gank anyone at all.
And Burning, he'll try it, or RTK will try to push out this bottom lane, but I don't see it happening. IG, they're looking for a game 2 win here. If they win this game, DK will finish 4th in the Alienware Cup, much like they did at the International 2.
Right.
And they'll fall short in the end. It's got all the markings right now. They're looking to engage. Nobody committed just yet. Joe chipping away at the tower, rather mauling away at it. Super's jumped in. OD ult has been dropped. ROTK on the sidelines. 430 driving back everybody. BKB deployed. Nobody can stand against this man, and I mean nobody, not even Burning. Super in trouble. Not dead yet. Your Mana Burn doing good damage, but it's all about Burning. They're diving him to the fountain. They've gotten a bash. He'll go down. It's going to be a 5-man team wipe at the fountain. And is it safe to say that Invictus Gaming might be on the upswing here?
Wow.
No GG at first. We'll get one from Burning.
Wow.
The rest of the team clearly on tilt here. They get one GG, though. There was some manners from Burning, but they got smacked around. Like, IG put the boot to DK in that last fight.
They destroy them, but even still, does it warrant not even saying GG?
Burning said GG.
Well, Burning said GG after 3 of his teammates left.
All is not well in DK land.
Clearly not.
Got 3-0'd at the Dota 2 Super League land finals and got, I would say, kind of embarrassed by Tongfu. Tongfu just crushed them.
Everyone but
They get
BKB,
embarrassed
yeah.
and crushed by IG here, 2-0. They are now 0-5 in their last 5 matches. That hurts. These are good opponents. These are very strong opponents, so it's not that DK's a bad team, but we expect better for them. I expected them to at least be able to force a game 3 if they played up to their potential, but IG, clever draft. I think the big thing here really was that DK just, that surprise factor.
Yeah. I
They-
mean,
they weren't prepared for this kind of a lineup.
but can you actually say surprise? Because IG did do this before.
Bounty Hunter mid?
Well, not Bounty Hunter made, but they did the Owl Devourer and...
But it's like those little
Tree.
tweaks, I think, that kind of...
They weren't able to adjust. They couldn't adjust with the Storm Spirit in game 1. They couldn't adjust to the Bounty Hunter in game 2. They did not do lane rotation, something that is actually good. I mean, sometimes if you have the unfavorable matchup, you might lose 30 seconds, even 1 minute, if you just have to buy a TP, you lose a couple, like 135 gold. But it's so much better to just lose a little battle and then be able to dominate lane than just being wrecked for 10 minutes. And even though you start the game 3-0, they went to 15-3. So in terms of kills, right? So
that was 15-0 streak for IG in this game, and DK only got 2 kills after that 3-0 start.
Yep, and also that it was the streak did not start until Bounty Hunter had his truck. So those 15 kills were more like 25.
DK tried to be patient at times. It felt like they were being selective about their fights, but there were some key pickoffs this game, especially I think that Gyrocopter dying top before he had his BKB. RTK getting caught out repeatedly towards the end there. It seemed like he was a little frustrated. DK kind of self-destructing here in game 2, but James, Lumi, your thoughts. What's wrong in DK land and what's going well for IG here?
DK, to talk about first.
Yeah.
Their lineup, they had a team that could fight. For some reason, they don't want to force fights. It's just, for me, it's kind of, I'm not going to say stupid, but sometimes you feel that like they play this 4-1 where Burning's just farming. It's like, well, actually, Gyrocopter's pretty amazing in team fights. Have you seen cooldown? And MMY and Super, because they weren't like trying to do anything, they didn't become useful. I would have liked to have seen them actually like almost kind of go 5-man a lot earlier, kind of like tower pushing style, and just limit the map, as in like you go in with Naga Siren ulti, Okay, there's no BKB up on the outworld, you know, that early. There was a mech, of course. You get into position, you cool down. You know, the cooldown is like, even if you don't get all the damage of the cooldown and people run away, it's the slow. That's what's going to matter the most in these big team fights. You should be able to set up a decent impale. Also, if you've got a lifesteal that rages while you use your Naga Siren ulti, net him.
Yeah.
Right? Don't worry. You know, and you know, just fucking net him. Leave him there for a moment until you position and you get everything you want. But they just didn't want to do that. They just, I'm confused to why they weren't using Naga Siren ulti earlier to get like a good tier 1 mid fight under their tower and actually do something with it all. And you know, ROTK, it's okay. Orchid, I like because you can actually surprise a lifestealer if you throw an Orchid on and actually.
But he had living armor.
Yeah, but you know, with Nyx Assassin, the damage output, if you can actually find him, is pretty huge. But actually, it was Chon did a really great job warding and keeping Zhou alive. But it's like Orchid's okay, but it came in a little bit late. You know, you want it like, I guess 15-minute mark, 15, 16-minute. I think it was like 22 or something, and I think it was a little bit late then.
Yeah, I think the big point is what you said. They had this timey window when they had burning BKB, they had Song of the Siren, and there was only Rage on IG. Nobody else could stand against that magic damage. They didn't force the issue. Yeah,
they should have. They really should have just been like, let's clear up as many towers as possible, and see what happens with the team fight later, rather than get picked off, get killed, give away track kills. And I talked about exclusively pretty much DK there, but Lumi, sorry to.
I'm on the DK camp as well. You talked about them needing to take better team fights and take more team fights. I think they just need to. Your keyword was pushing down towers, and I think that you need to do it in lane. We saw, I think. IG used the same strategy against Orange, was it? When they was doing Lifestealer and Lone Druid, and they couldn't push a damn tower against Treant Protector because of all the living armor. You cannot beat a Treant Protector when he's 2-0 and 5 because he doesn't do anything in lane. Like, he just sits there and he pulls creeps. When you have an offensive tri-lane consisting of Naga Siren, Gyrocopter, and Leshrac, these are very explosive hero that allows you to tower dive or wrap around, challenge your pulls. They didn't do any of that. They're like, you farm, I farm, we have burning, but they have tree. Like, tree is greater than burning right now to me. And
the living armor was being used constantly on the bottom lane. It was always on the OD. They had to use it there because it was 2 points.
And that's time to dive mid.
And dive mid or dive top. Well, top since they're tri-laning there. But I do agree that I thought there were some windows to dive, and DK's just not. They're not the most aggressive team. That's kind of their problem. They don't adapt that well with lane movements, and even when they run an aggressive tri-lane, is it really an aggressive tri-lane, or is it just a tri-lane in the top lane?
It's a tri-lane just helping to farm, which...
It was wasted potential, I felt.
Yes. So they didn't push as well.
Yeah.
They didn't team fight as well. I think the team fight thing was a little bit unfair to really knock them on too hard because at that time, mech was up, living armor is up, and everybody's fairly tanky because they're like level 8, 9, 10. But I think they need to push a lot better, like you said.
And credit to Ferrari, that early mech, you know, just rushing the mech, that was huge for his team. You saw the turnaround at the top in the jungle. They were meant to get an easy kill on somebody. They smoked in. You know, they have Super, I think it was, playing the Nyx. They find Ferrari, mech, living armor, turn it around, get 3 kills. Chon gets super happy in terms of items, and it's as I mentioned, you know, like I just wanted to see him fight under towers, like tier 1 with a Naga Siren ready to either set it up, pull away, and eliminate just get the towers away from the Treant Protector that was constantly going to heal them. So DK, I think played it wrong, unfortunately. IG did play well.
If I could say one thing about IG, I don't think YYF actually played particularly too well. I think LD pointed out he rotated up twice up top with like double teleport scrolls, but the war spotted him out, right? So when your melee ganker goes top and does nothing and walks back mid, that's like a full minute of doing nothing.
Well, but that's credit to DK. It's not a fail. I mean, YYF didn't know the war was there.
Right.
The idea was okay. There's a tri-lane. You want to go there. You want to get a fight. You were stronger. I think that's more credit to DK for that original ward placement that actually allows you to see the
Right. And because DK saw that, why didn't they do something? Like, they had advantage either in mid or top because of the rotation. Like, we'll sit and farm.
I mean, I feel like if Team Dignitas played that lineup, or, you know, a team that's... I find Team Dignitas one of the best teams in terms of actually seeing what other people do and rotating and capitalizing on getting towers down.
Yeah, they'll change the lanes like 6 times
Yes.
in a game if they have to.
Yeah, I think if Team Dignitas played DK's lineup, we would have seen it played a lot differently to a better
definitely.
effect. Like,
Right.
so it's kind of like it's not the individual skill of the players; they're all very high, but sometimes it's like what your team knows to do and how to play. And unfortunately for them, it didn't work out. So there we have it. That's going to be the end of the lower bracket today, and it means that DK, we still congratulate them for making it 4th place, picking up $5,000. It's still a great finish here at a tournament with pretty much all the best teams.
It's a good
over in-
finish.
yeah.
It's not a good finish for DK. You could tell they were pissed after that game.
And you know what? They have exactly 1 month until the international starts, the playoff stage. I was thinking about that today. 7 August, that's when it starts.
And rumor is Burning may retire after this year.
Yep.
Legendary carry player. DK, the best team in the world in 2011, won pretty much every major event that year.
In Dota
except
1.
for in Dota 1, yeah. Obviously, Navi took the international one. DK didn't look too good there, but
I think Burning needs to take a page out of Black's book.
How
And
so?
well, Black is like,
you know Black loves Burning, right?
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is Black has managed to kind of change his game a lot more because he was all about like farming a lot. Now he rotates a lot more to actually be involved in team fights. I would like to see that.
Yeah.
I thought Bernie did okay. In game 1, he TP'd in early. He got that double kill.
Yeah.
Pretty early. In this game, he joined his team, but he couldn't start a fight by himself. He was a gyrocopter with a BKB.
Yeah, we should have been shouting at,
He needs to yell at
MNY.
RTK, but RTK's got the superior lung
I
capacity.
think the support players of DK need to take a page of playbook from
Yeah,
Orange
that's where I
supports.
look to.
They need to rotate better. They need to be there faster. Like game 1 when Super was getting hammered on the mid lane at Storm. Where the
true.
hell were the TP? Where the hell were the rotations? So I hate to knock on X and 357 legendary players, but they need to step it up.
We'll see what happens with that. But now IG will be facing the winner, the loser of LGD China versus Navi. And that's a match that counts in about 50 minutes from now.
Sound familiar?
Sound familiar? Happened before.
A little bit.
What happened last time? Do you remember?
Navi.
Tell me the story. Tell me the story, Daddy.
Well, you see,
That
there's this
did
thing,
not seem
and now you
weird at all.
little kids don't sit like this. What kind of little kids do you know? Well, once upon a time, ladies and
Yes.
gentlemen, there was a great Dota team.
Okay.
Their name was LGD China.
Who was there?
They went undefeated at the
Wow.
International 2 group stages.
Wow.
They were a great team. They looked unstoppable. Even Invictus Gaming, the other top Chinese team, wasn't as good.
Wow. So what happened then?
Then a small little team known as Navi.
Small.
They had struggled through the group stages.
Mm-hmm.
They hadn't been doing that well. They made it to the winner bracket semifinals. Then they played IG.
Dun dun.
IG takes game 1. It was a 14-minute GG.
Wow.
Navi crushed.
Crumbling.
They come back in game 2.
How did they come back?
They give away Darkseer.
Oh no.
They give away Tidehunter.
That's suicide.
They give away Naga Siren.
Doesn't make sense.
GG. Go next.
Yeah,
Game
it's
was
over.
over. But the game wasn't over, Bruno.
Why?
Because they picked Enigma. They got Light of Heaven as BKB. They got the Juggernaut.
Bam.
And then they had Dendimon. And they had Puppy, the brains behind it all. They turned it around.
And they won.
And they won.
Wow.
Then they took game 3.
Suddenly, just.
Then they beat LGD China. Then they're in the grand finals. But IG weren't done yet.
What happened?
They came back.
Why?
Because they wanted to win.
They wanted to win.
Next thing you know,
They won.
they won.
How much did they win?
$1 million. I can't get over this shirt. I can't take you seriously in that thing.
I think Bruno and I are on the drive here that if he walked outside at night, he's gonna get pulled over by a cop. Like,
I don't know if I'm still drunk or something on this show because, like,
You don't know what just happened here?
the funny thing is, I think I came home drunk today to Bruno's room and asked him to tell me a story, and he told me Goldilocks. He sat on the end of my bed and was like, and then we decided, wait, were there hairdressers back in the time of,
Says
you know,
Goldilocks.
castles and knights and stuff? But we figured they'd probably just be servants.
Mm-hmm.
So
Little did you
I
know.
would name like Goldilocks her daughter. I mean, you have to guess that she will grow into having Goldilocks.
Mm-hmm.
What if she was like dark-haired eventually, or just how some
Yeah,
kids
kids. Yeah, a lot of blonde hair.
I
Isn't that right?
Can't say that's
Jamie?
ever
You had
crossed my
blonde hair
mind.
when you were a kid.
Yeah, I had.
I
No,
sleep
no,
well
no,
at
no,
night,
it is.
Bruno. I've never thought about it.
Sorry.
I'm never going to think about it, despite you trying to mess with me.
Am I weird?
No, you're fine. So yeah, if you were interested in reading that story, that was actually a dialogue that's been on the alienwarecup.com website. You can go check it out there. There's more stories from LD there also. Or you can go to Twitter and Facebook and also go to Alienware Cup. You can give them a like, and that will be awesome. Otherwise, I believe that all we have to do next is kind of chill out, get ready for LGD versus Na'Vi. Are you guys ready for a break, or have we got any more stories?
I'll leave some for later.
There's
Some
more
later.
story later.
Yeah, I mean, we went for Goldilocks, we went for the TI2 story. What comes next?
Wait, hold on, real fast.
What's the next chapter?
Is the Prophet Bruno still on track? Well,
Yeah.
you predicted DK to go all the way, right?
No, I predicted IG to go all the way.
Oh, okay. But Navi wins
The Navi wins.
with Game 5 Arsark Crystal Maiden.
Outside Crystal Man on
Okay,
game
so
5.
they gotta get Arsark back.
They gotta get Heartsark back. I don't know how that's One gonna step at a happen. time.
Fly now. Get to China.
The stories are great. You're just getting lost in the details.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just overall, it's very worthwhile. All right, and yeah. So hope you guys are enjoying the Alienware Cup here, sponsored by Alienware and Mastercard, organized by DPM, put on by BTS, produced by Kawa. Blitz is in the other room, being absolutely useless. I beat him in Street Fighter earlier. I just want to point that out on a controller.
really?
Versus he was on a stick. I was on a controller. He played Akuma, and I played Dan,
Have you beaten Vic the Slick though yet?
and I beat him. Huh?
Have you beaten Vic the Slick?
No,
though?
Vic is going to teach me how to actually play Street Fighter properly, so when I go home I can kick Scriff's ass.
Vic's a beast.
Yeah, so hopefully he's going to come around today. But yeah, so we're going to take a break. Blitz is probably going to try and get his revenge on me, but when we come back, it's going to be the last game of today, a best of 3 between Na'Vi and LGD China. See you later for the Alienware Cup.